I didn't want to drop that down. I wanted to X that out. There we go.
Okay, let me just go in here. Okay, it looks like we're good to go. Hold on one sec.
There we go. Excuse me. I'm dying here. There we go.
We're all dying. Okay, all right, everybody. Welcome, everybody. We are back with another episode of Beyond the Grave Radio with Haunted Salem, where the dead educate the living. We are live here on YouTube. I am your host, Christina Corsetti, and we are here with my right-hand man, Roger Belt. Roger, you want to say hi?
There he is.
I had my mic muted and I was trying to hit the camera button.
We'll say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Ravenwings is with us tonight, and we are discussing witchcraft. Ravenwings, why don't you say hello?
Hello, everybody. I just got off my show, so bear with me. Oh, as I drop the camera.
It's all right. It's like bear with all of us at the moment. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the shows that you have for the listeners?
Yeah, I can do that. I have 2 shows right now. I have The Essential Witch, where I do, it's all about witchcraft and stuff, and that's on Thursday nights at 7, from 7 to 8. And then Sundays I have Walking the Crooked Path, and that is mostly interviews. I do interviews and stuff like that, and that's on at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and they're all on PBN Radio, which is the Pagan Business Network Radio. So it's
Nice.
www.pbnradio.us.
Great. Now, you have been a practicing witch for more than 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, you are a cross between an earth witch as well as a kitchen witch. Could you explain that to us?
I sure can. Earth witchcraft is a very calm and focused type of form of witchcraft. It deals mostly with folk magic, American Indian beliefs, shamanism, and some of the ancient lore. We work well with moon and solar energies and stuff like that. Kitchen witchcraft is not just based in the kitchen, and just because you can cook doesn't make you a kitchen witch, by the way. It's all about, yeah, it's a little different. They shouldn't really call it kitchen witchcraft. It should be called domestic witchcraft, because it has to do more with the home itself, the whole entire home. It's about making the mundane, everyday magical. And realizing that just because you're doing the dishes or making the bed or vacuuming or whatever, you can use that as a time to honor your goddesses, gods, deities, stuff like that. So, and both are very similar and usually solitary practices. So.
Okay. Well, I was researching other witches and witchcrafts, and there's quite a few of them, actually.
Oh, yes. Yeah, paganism is a large tree.
Yeah, I got quite a few. Now, a ceremonial witchcraft, which mainly uses ceremonial magic in their practices. Could you explain what ceremonial magic is?
Ceremonial magic is different from like natural and earth magic. This involves invoking and controlling spirits or other entities.
Okay.
It's considered a form of higher magic. It involves a great deal of secrecy, too. A lot of your ceremonial magicians will not talk to just anybody.
Really?
It's a complete system of spiritual attunement, and it incorporates a lot of different religions like Jewish, Christianity, early Egyptians, and even ancient Indian beliefs. So it's really a type of magic that's taught over a period of time by someone who'd be considered an elder in this type of magic.
That actually is very interesting. So Roger's still muted.
Yep.
Okay.
He's just hanging.
He's just hanging out.
He's just
That's
hanging
fine.
out.
I'm here.
Okay.
See, he's
If
hanging
I
out.
have
He's
anything
listening.
interesting to throw in, I'll holler.
Okay, not a problem. Now, I'm gonna assume this is Celtic Wicca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it goes by elements, the ancient ones, and nature. They are healers. They work with plants, stones, flowers, trees, gnomes, and fairies.
Yep.
So that's like a lot of nature.
Yes,
I guess they work with.
Celtic Wicca. Yes, yeah. There's Celtic paganism. There's Celtic Wicca. There's Celtic witchcraft. There's a lot of different. But there's a lot of different areas. Like I, as an Earth Witch, work with gnomes and fairies as well. So you don't have to be just a certain
Type
thing. To work with different deities and stuff.
Okay, this is going to be really interesting tonight. Now, how would I pronounce this? Eclectic witch? Eclectic witch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead with that.
They don't follow a particular religion or tradition or path. They learn and study from many different systems, which is what they consider me. I try not to label, and I try not to be labeled, but it's kind of hard.
Sure.
You kind of have to. But basically, any witch or pagan, well, mostly witch, that doesn't follow a set path would be considered an eclectic witch.
Okay. All right. That makes a lot of sense. I like that one.
Because most people are eclectic. If you're learning more than one path, you're going to be eclectic.
Yeah, that's what I would consider myself as well. Mm-hmm. Gardnerian tradition follows a structured root and ceremony and practice, and Alexandrian traditions are said to be modified Gardnerian. Now, structured root, spelled R-O-T, what do they mean by that?
A structured root in paganism is a way your specific path is followed. I'm not as much pagan as I am witch, so I really have no specific path to speak of.
Okay.
So a structured root path would be like Wicca. They have a
That's
reed.
What I follow
You guys have a reed. You have the law of three that you abide by. Structure is normally associated with religion. So practicing witchcraft, which is not really a form of religion, everybody thinks that witchcraft is a religion. It is not.
It's a practice.
It's a practice, yes. It's casting and doing all that stuff. It has really, you can find witches that will worship gods and goddesses. You will find them that don't. I don't worship. I work with gods and goddesses, and that includes all gods and goddesses. I can do Egyptian, Celtic. I don't worship a specific one, and I only use them when I need them for what I need them for. Their help with. I mostly work with energies and nature around you and stuff like that. So the root thing would be more of someone who's on a straight and direct path with structure, where you know where you have to be, what you have to do, and covens do a lot of that. So, yeah.
Now, just because you'd be a witch or you follow a certain type, would you find a certain type of coven to go into, or is it like, do you have to be involved in a coven?
You don't have to be involved in a coven unless it's part of your path.
Gotcha.
It depends on the path. Your path you may have to be part of a coven to follow a certain path. So that all depends on what path exactly that you're following. Me, I've never been part of a coven, so I wouldn't even know where to begin. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Either, so I wasn't sure if that was one of my down the road things to do, but
I've never
coven. I've always. Go ahead, Roger.
I've never heard of a witch that does worship the gods and goddesses. How do you not incorporate that?
It's not that I don't worship. I don't worship any gods or goddesses. I work with them. I think of them as just energy, I guess, is the best way to put it. I believe in them. I absolutely believe in the gods and goddesses. It's just I don't have like a shrine or an altar set up specifically for a specific god or a goddess or anything like that.
It's like the universal energy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, everything has energy. Your plants, rocks, trees, everything.
Right.
Even the air around you has energy. So that's basically what I work with. I work with the energy that's around you.
Okay.
See, Roger said he would chime in.
Yeah, I told him to chime in anytime he wants. Um, all right, so British traditional witch is a mix of Celtic and Gardnerian beliefs. They train through a degree process, and the covens are usually co-ed.
Hmm.
Um, Now we have Dianic.
Dianic. Yep.
I got that.
You
Dianic
got that one.
tradition.
Yep.
It includes a lot of different traditions in one. Prime focus is the goddess, and it is more of a feminist side of the craft. Now,
Yes.
what would be the feminist side of a craft?
There are different ones that worship just goddesses. There
Gotcha.
are even parts of Wicca that will worship just goddesses. Not all Wicca is the same. It depends on which group you're with, or which coven you're with, because Wiccans do have covens as well.
Okay.
But Wiccans tend to look more towards the goddess than the god. But Dianic witchcraft is exclusively female. Only the goddess is worshipped. It was started in the U.S. around the 1970s, and it's named after the Roman god Diana.
Yep.
But they do worship all of the goddesses from many different traditions. So it's not just goddess Diana, it's all of the goddesses. And a lot of women who have been through some kind of trauma, such as rape, domestic abuse, or violence, and even gender trauma, have turned to this form of paganism to help them get their power back and feel more in control of their lives. So, I mean, it's a positive influence for a lot of women, but they do not deal with the gods at all. Absolutely none. It's
Okay.
completely goddess based.
I'm a Mother Earth person.
Oh, there you go. See, Gaia. I love Gaia. Gaia is awesome. We're killing
Well,
her, but
I do, what's the word I want to use? That's where I'm comfortable. If I'm in the woods or somewhere in the,
yep, nature. You just like that whole nature.
that's why I can go fishing and sit there all day. And if I don't get a bite, that's just fine. I'm
Doesn't
happy.
even matter. Yep.
Yeah, I love fishing.
Same
But
here. So,
I find hot spots in the woods. What I call hot spots is like where you feel the energy in the air. Uh,
Nice.
Inside of this place, it's quiet and peaceful. There's no sound. It's just all
cemeteries are like that. You can have a
yeah.
cemetery on the side of a road, a highway, and
Cemetery.
you'll find the quiet. And I love that. I used to love walking through the cemeteries. I still do. I still love walking through a cemetery.
Well, every time I find one, it's in a wooded area. But I did find one in a cemetery, but it was in the back corner next to a wooded area.
Yep. See, that'll do it.
All there. But I mean, and I don't know what those are. I don't know, why I find them, but I do.
Hey, as long as you're finding them and you enjoy them, they're there for
And you're
you.
comfortable with them, exactly.
Yeah, they're there
Yeah.
for you.
Inside of these things, all your troubles drift away. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's like perfect peace, and
Yep.
that's best I can explain it.
Yep.
But that's why I'm a Mother Earth person. That's where I'm, I guess, grounded to, whatever you
Hmm.
want to call it.
Yeah, and it is. It's very grounding, especially if you have way too much energy, like person who's stressed out or has a lot of anxiety. It's very good for them to walk outside barefoot because it will
Oh, I
actually
love
help
walking
ground
barefoot.
that energy. Yeah, I'm a barefoot kind of girl.
Well, they also
Yes.
say that's how your body will release all the bad stuff is through the feet. Why I
Hmm.
don't know, but
Well, look at those pads they make you put on your feet, and it pulls out
yeah.
all that bad stuff. So yeah,
Well, you
makes
can put
sense.
in your sock, do the same thing.
Yep, exactly. Well, they say you can put onions in your socks too if you have a cold, and it will draw it out into the onion. You can
Huh.
sleep with it at night. And I'm thinking, no. I had teenage boys, they had bad feet. I know.
Were you eating onions, honey? No, I had them in my socks, huh?
No, those are just my socks. Ugh.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, for those of you that are just joining us, we are talking about different types of witchcraft right now, and we have Pictish
Hmm.
witchcraft. It's a solitary form of the craft, more magical in nature than it is religion.
Yes.
You want to just a little bit on Pictish?
That's more of a Celtic, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm
Okay.
not much into that, so I'm not really sure, but I believe it's Celtic.
Okay. I'm going to say hereditary.
Yes.
Ooh, which teaches the old religion through generations of the family, so that's more family generated,
Yeah,
and that's where they
it's
get
been
the
handed down from generation to generation to generation.
nice, nice. We have Caledoni. That tradition is known as the Hectine tradition. It
Hmm.
is a denomination of the craft.
Yeah,
Now, what do
I
they mean
don't
by
know much
denomination?
about that one. That tradition I don't know much about, but a denomination basically is a subgroup within a religion. Just like
Okay,
Christianity has in its religion, it has Catholics, Baptists, Protestants, etc. It's just a denomination is just a group inside a larger belief system.
now does everything come
Paganism
from paganism and then it breaks down?
Paganism has many branches. Paganism is just a rounded name, like Christianity is a rounded name
Okay,
for um, different belief systems. They're still reading from the same Bible. They're interpreting it differently.
Right.
You'll have your Christians who have their interpretations, your Catholics that have theirs, your Baptists who have theirs. It's still the same book. They're still reading from the same book. Paganism is the same way with their branches. Paganism is the big name of the fact that people believe in more than one god or goddess, and everything else branches from there.
All the churches in the Bible read from the same book
Hmm.
and interpret it the way they want to, and each one of them thinks theirs is the right way, and everybody else is going to hell because they didn't do it their way.
Exactly. Exactly.
okay. We have what's called powwow, which concentrates on simple faith healing. Now, faith
Yes.
healing, that would just be healing with.
Kind of like your faith healers that you see in your religious type of stuff where they heal you with the power of God in their
Gotcha.
hands, and
Okay, that's
that's
where the
faith
faith
healing.
comes from. I
Yep.
gotcha.
Yeah. It's the easiest way to explain it.
No, no, this is great
So
because
they
there's
call
so
it a
many of them.
powwow.
It's called powwow, yeah.
I thought that's what Indians did when they got
That's what
together.
I thought too, but
Yeah.
you know, the Indians that I mean, I've been to a few powwows, and it had nothing to do with healing. So I'm thinking that they have it set up as different in witchcraft or something, but I had never heard of it that way. I grew up Cherokee and Iroquois, and powwows were just where we went and watched all the Indians dance and ate
Nice.
some really good food and stuff like that. So
And yeah. Uh,
Now, the reason why I'm going through a lot of these is because when I was researching it, I was amazed on how many that I found. You know
oh
what I
yeah.
mean? It was just amazing. And I
And
was
that's
like,
just the
okay,
tip of the iceberg. You would be amazed at how many different branches there are of paganism.
that's
There are a
wild.
lot. Yeah.
We have a solitary witch, which is one who
Hmm.
practices alone without a cover following any tradition. Now,
Hmm.
what do they mean by without a cover?
I
Like,
think it was supposed to be a coven,
oh, and
not
it
a
was,
cover.
okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
it's a
confused
person.
about that.
Yeah, it's just a. I think that was a spell check error. That if it looks like a word, they're going to leave it. But it's basically a person
A
who
coven.
does it all
Okay.
by themselves. They don't work with other another group or whatever.
Yeah.
Thousands of years ago, it was mainly the women who were the healers and the spiritual helpers in the villages, and it was normally the older women, known as the crones, that were sought after for either knowledge or health issues, even midwifing. And many of them had proteges, which would be your hereditary witches. A lot of time it was either someone in their family that would go with them, or someone who was close to the family that would go with them, so they would have to be able to pass it along.
Okay.
But for the most part, these women worked alone, and I practice solitary. I mean, I've
Yeah, I
practiced with
do
a couple of
too.
other people before, but not as in a group or anything like that.
I would consider myself solitary because
Yep.
I do it all by myself. All right. Striga. Striga?
Strega.
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 Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
pronounce that with a strega.
Yeah.
Strega.
Strega. Yes. That's
Strega
that's
witches.
Italian witches. Yes.
And I should know that, right? I'm fully
Yes,
Italian.
you should know that.
I know. Well, Strega witches, originally coming from Italy, are known to be the smallest group in the United States. Their craft is wise and beautiful.
Yeah, Strega is a very interesting. They deal with a lot of the Christian saints and stuff in Strega.
Okay.
I did a show with a lady who is Strega.
I wonder why that would be the smallest group. I mean, just because
we weren't doing the show on witchcraft, but she is
most Italian families in the United States are now Catholic.
Okay.
So when the whole witch hunting thing went down, Europe got hit really hard. They got hit way harder than we did in the United States. So yeah, you had to hide, and most of your Italian women now, and most of even Italy, isn't even witchcraft related anymore. They don't go by the old. They've changed over to the Catholic religion.
Oh wow.
Well, could they use that as a sort of a way to hide?
Oh yeah, I mean they could be hiding it just like they did in the past, and you would never know.
No, I'm not a witch. I'm a Catholic.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
And you're not going to hunt down a Catholic, right? So
no.
They're pretty safe as long as they can make people believe that they're.
As long as they're going to church every Sunday and carrying around their rosary beads and what have you and whatnot. Yeah. And pagans actually use beads that are very similar to rosary beads too. We have prayer beads that we use as well. So, and they could be carrying those and they would never know. They would never know.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to hide. Best place to hide something is in plain sight.
Exactly.
All right. Now we have, I'm going to say augury.
I don't know on that one. Because I know nothing about shamanism. So,
okay.
I've heard of it. As far as any knowledge of it, no.
Well, the way the English language is to me, I would pronounce it augury, an augury witch, which is a shaman in practice. Now, shamans, which is arguable as to whether shamanism is or is not witchcraft, no religion, work completely with nature, rocks, trees, animals, and rivers.
I know they work with animals.
But when I think shaman, I think Indian. I don't know why.
This next one is what I am. Gotta be.
Yeah.
A druidic. Yeah,
I'll be right back. Yeah.
Okay. Druidic.
Worshippers of Mother Earth. Yeah.
Worshippers of Mother Earth practices the wooded areas. Their rituals employ sacrifices to the Mother Goddess, and that's what exactly you said.
See,
depending on what the sacrifices are.
I mean, I don't sacrifice things, but I used to hunt. I guess that's a form of
It's a form of sacrifice. You learning something, Raja?
I'm learning.
He's like, I'm learning.
I think we all are.
I got to learn stuff tonight too, so I got a learning class tonight too on hoodoo. So
that's
we're all learning stuff today.
Yeah, hoodoo that you do.
Yeah, so well.
I have a friend. Actually, he's our team leader, paranormal team leader, who thinks he has a hoodoo curse on him. And no matter who has said what, he's tried this, that, and the other, he still thinks that he has this hoodoo curse on him.
Does he have bad luck? I mean, does he just everything go wrong for him?
This way, his relationships don't last very long.
Well, mine don't
that
either.
might not be hoodoo. That just might be, he stinks or something.
This is what he told me, that him and his wife were in New Orleans, and they went into this place and they had a reading done, and he said something I guess this lady didn't like, and he thinks she put a hoodoo curse on him, and that his relationships would not last, and they don't. Don't seem like.
Well, then I would highly suggest he go back to New Orleans and apologize to whoever he offended. Because he's going to have to go back and just suck it up and swallow his pride and say sorry. Because otherwise he's going to have a miserable life.
But I mean,
Either that
That's
or
amazing. That's amazing that you go to these places and you wouldn't even know if you did offend somebody. They would just
right.
like that in the blink of an eye. Next thing you know, you just
he's
cursed.
a really great guy, though. He really is. You know, he don't deserve this. You know, but
Well, apparently he deserved it enough for somebody to get offended by him, so he's just going to have to
well,
suck it up, visit her again, and apologize, and hopefully she'll take off the curse.
Oh wow.
I think basically he called her a fake
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no.
in so many
I don't
words.
think he thinks she's a fake anymore.
No,
Yeah.
obviously not.
Yeah,
He's
you
really
don't go to
about to
New
go back there
Orleans
and
and call
no.
somebody a fake.
No,
I,
not a good idea.
I can laugh about it because I'm not him, but
Yeah.
you know, no, I don't think I would have did that. You know, I might not have believed that they were for real, but I wouldn't tell them to
Yeah,
their
I
face.
don't think he would come out and tell them that right to their
No,
face. No, not a
I'd
good
be
idea.
okay. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Gotcha. You know,
Yep.
Oh
when I get home,
wow.
it's like, no, I don't even think I'd said it then. Because I mean, you know, I believe in that stuff. You know, what now? This is one thing I want to ask you real quick while we're
Okay.
on the
Yeah,
subject of
take your time. You got
all
plenty of
this.
time.
And we just did a show on curses. But
Hmm.
if you, as a person, do not believe in hexes and curses and all that kind of stuff, okay? If somebody puts a curse on you, are you as apt to be cursed as you would be if you were a firm believer in all that, or would it be something that you brush off your shoulder?
It's kind of like the superstition stuff, you know. If you believe that a black cat crossing your path is going to bring you bad luck,
Right.
you're going to come up with all kinds of bad luck. It's just going to happen, and everything bad that's going to happen, you're going to say, "Oh, if I wouldn't have let that black cat cross my path, this wouldn't be happening." So I think
Right.
it's more of a belief system than it is anything else.
I kind of believe it's a little bit of both, maybe, you know.
Well,
Uh,
I look at it kind of this way. I mean, Catholics will tell me, you know, and I grew up Roman Catholic. So, you know, what I do and what I believe is going to cause me to burn in hell. I
yeah,
don't believe that, so I have no fear.
right.
I would have to believe in hell to fear it. So, you know, I think it goes a lot with what you believe. What you believe can affect your mind a lot more.
Oh, and it will, you
And
know.
you're
I
going to
mean,
see things that, you know, oh, yep, this is because of this and this is because
yeah,
of that. If I wouldn't have done this, this wouldn't be happening. And yeah,
I
I think you
broke
just
that
tend to
mirror,
pick it
you
out
know.
more.
Yeah. Walked under the ladder, broke the mirror. Black
Yep,
cat walks in front of me.
yep. And anything bad that happens to you from that point on, you're going to blame it all on that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I broke mirrors before,
Oh,
accidentally.
me too. Me
And I
too.
didn't have no 7 years of bad luck and all this kind of stuff. You know. I walked under ladders before.
7 years
I've
is a
done that
long
by
time.
Yeah, I've done that by accident before. Walked under a ladder. I don't like walking under a ladder because
I
the plain
didn't
and
do it
simple
on
fact I'm
purpose.
afraid something's going to fall off of it and hit me. So you know, that's the bad luck I'm worried about.
I had no choice in where it was put because you couldn't walk around it. So
Oh,
you
nice.
to get out, you had to go
Yep.
under, you know. But the mirror I accidentally broke. I was hanging it, trying to hang it on a wall, and it fell, and it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, 7 years of bad luck, you know. Then I'm like, nah,
Yep.
you know. And of course,
Superstitions. See, I can't believe in superstitions. I'm a witch. I'm what superstitions are made of.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
snakes and snails and puppy dog tails.
Yeah,
Exactly.
superstitions never bothered me either.
They're cool though to read.
Oh, I
Very
love
cool to
them.
read.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, we have Wicca.
Hmm.
What, Roger?
I said, sorry to interrupt there. I just.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. Wicca is the most popular form of witchcraft. It's highly religious in nature and has good balance between ceremonial magic and nature, belief, all equal in all things. So all equal in all things. Everything is one. That's the most.
Wicca though is not a witchcraft. Wicca is actually a form of religion, and Wiccans can be witches and they cannot be witches.
Okay.
So, yeah, some Wiccans will practice witchcraft. Some will absolutely not. They believe that it goes against the Reed and the Threefold Law. So, in that respect, not all Wiccans are witches.
Okay. Well, that's good
Didn't
to know.
Wicca come from actual witches?
Huh? Wicca?
Didn't
No,
Wicca
Wicca
come
was
from?
created. Wicca is actually a created system.
Yeah, but
Uh,
wasn't the one that created it, wasn't they a witch?
no, no, he was not. That was
Okay, I
Gerald
always
Gardner.
thought they were. So
Nope, nope, nope. Wicca is based on paganism, but not on witchcraft itself,
okay,
because witchcraft actually isn't a religion. So, and
that's
that was
good. I learned
created
something new.
back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, somewhere in that area. Yeah, so it's one of the newer forms of paganism, actually.
Okay,
It's the most
good.
popular, but it is one of the newer forms.
Interesting.
Okay,
Okay.
what would you be if you see things?
They have medication for that. Um, I don't see things. Thank God, not yet.
I
Anyway,
don't, I don't
I'm
either.
getting up there in age, so I might someday, but right now I don't. People, I do know people who can hear spirits and see spirits and stuff like that. I don't, like you do ghost hunting, and I don't actually believe in the ghost aspect of it. I believe it's more of a spirit than it is, and it's more like an energy, not coming
Okay,
back from the dead.
I'm referring to something different because I have seen
Okay,
ghosts. When I was a
okay,
kid, I actually saw spirits.
okay.
But uh, I'm talking about like I'm here and I'm in Tennessee,
Hmm.
and a person I know lives in New York, and I saw what was in one of the rooms in her house.
Are you awake during this time?
Yes, I was wide awake.
Okay, because some people will astral travel. I do not know how to do that, but it's you're leaving your body and actually going to another place.
Well, no,
They
I
say
believe
it's like
I've
your spirit.
done that in my sleep, but I
Yeah,
didn't know
people.
where I
That's
went.
yeah. There. I talked to a person actually this past weekend who had that happen to her. She woke up. Supposedly, she thought she was awake, getting a drink in the fridge, and she was coming back to bed, and she saw a little boy in her hallway, and she kept reaching for the doorknob, but her hand kept going through the door because she had
Oh,
astral
wow.
traveled.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, I think that would be cool. Probably scare the crap out of me, but I think it would be cool. But yeah, that's kind of like an astral traveling, or you're having visions.
Well,
You could possibly be having visions.
I think when I do the astral travel, I'm usually asleep and I don't know where the heck I go. But
I
when I
thought it
come
was
back,
always when you were sleeping you would do that, but
No,
I didn't
no,
know
when
you could
I
you
do it
can
on
come
do
your
it
own.
awake.
Wow.
Some
when
people
I
can actually meditate and do that and
yeah,
actually travel at will.
but when I come back, I slam into my body and I jerk up out of bed.
Yep.
So I know I've done it. I just don't know where I went, what I did when I was there.
That's wild, Roger.
It's too bad I can't have a mental journal in my head and write all this stuff down. Yeah, you went.
Right? You need to videotape everything. That'd be
Yeah,
kind of cool. Where did I go
but
last
no,
night?
I saw this stuff. I was wide awake. I was actually talking to the person through Skype at the time
Oh, wow.
and naming off stuff in this room. And
So you went and visited it. You went and actually went there while you were in Tennessee.
that could
You just,
maybe that's where I astral traveled when I was asleep one time and just didn't know.
Maybe. And just it came to you while you were talking to them. It's possible.
It was crazy. But
but at
I
I
least
have
don't know.
you're
I think it
aware
would
that you
scare
do
me.
it.
It would be cool, but I think it would scare me.
I have had like short visions when I was awake. I could shut my eyes and see a little vision pass in front of me,
Hmm.
and that's pretty weird too.
Is it premonition visions, like something that will come true, or just something you see?
No, it's actually. I'll give you an example. I was in a group one time on Facebook. We were talking about this person that the other people thought she was a black witch or practiced black art. Okay, I had to excuse myself to tend to personal business. And while I was doing that, I shut my eyes and I had this vision of this woman in a black robe with the hood and the whole 9 yards walking through a path in the woods, and then you see a circle like a fire pit.
Hmm.
And everything within me said she's going to do a ritual at this circle, this pit, whatever. You know,
That could have been from the past. You could have saw something from the past.
it could be, I don't know,
Yep.
but it just seemed to all fit. You know what I mean? We were
Yep.
talking about that, and then I see this person, dressed like a person would be, like a devil worshiper.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole black hood and cape and the whole 9 yards, going through the woods with something in her hands toward this pit. And so I go back, when I come back, I go on and I say, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, she is. But that's the kind of stuff that happens, and I can't explain why it happens. It just does.
You have a gift.
Or a curse, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually I had a vision one time of a guy sitting in a chair, and you're looking through a window, right? And he's sitting in a chair or couch in this darkened room, and all you can see is his arm, and it's burnt all the way up.
Ow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and then something tells me, well, this guy, he killed somebody. He's a murderer. Well, then it flashed to a roadside ditch with, like, cattails and all that growing up in there, and everything I know says there's a body in that water somewhere.
Wow.
So why does that come? Why do I see this crap? I don't want to see this crap.
They're trying to show you where the body is. Maybe, they're missing.
It didn't give me any direction as to where I could tell anybody this is the spot.
Yeah, but even if you told someone, are they really going to believe you or think you're nuts?
Well, if they found a body, I'd be suspect number one, right?
Yeah, they'd be like, you'd be the suspect.
You know where it is. You did. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was telling a friend of mine about this one time, and I'm like, I don't want to see this crap, because if I see this crap and I actually see a body and there's a sign or something, I can tell somebody where it is, they're going to come and get me. How'd you know it was there?
Well, that's the thing. You're given this gift for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to learn. You got to learn how to tune in. You got to learn how to use it. You got to learn what it's for, why you have it, the who, what, when, where, why.
Yeah.
And sometimes even how to turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, where's the switch? Because it just happens when it wants to happen. I have no clue it's coming.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, not again.
That's like being an empath. You never know when it's coming.
Not again. I don't want to see no.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. It kind of makes you want to stay in your house,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm going to see something. I pulled up in front of a store one day. We have a Huck's convenience store right down the road from where I live here. And I pull up in front of the store, I get out of my van, and I look toward the gas pumps that's behind me over to the left. There's a guy that he was pumping gas or whatever. He turns and starts walking towards the store. And all the hair on my body stood up. And automatically I knew this guy beats his wife, he beats his kids, he's horrible. And so I stand there by my van, let the guy go in the store, do his stuff, come out, and then I go in because I didn't want to get that close to him.
Don't blame you.
That's the kind of stuff I see.
You probably have more gifts than you actually realize you have.
But that's creepy, when you can see something like that and everything, all your hair stands up on your body, just crawls up,
Would that be a form of empath, Ravenwings?
I would think so. Yeah, I would think
Yeah.
that's a form of being an empath. I can't speak, but yeah, because an empath is almost like a human lie detector.
I don't like
if you're
going
talking
into
to somebody, you'll know they're lying right to your face. You'll know it if you're around somebody who's having a bad day or is in a bad mood or whatever. You will actually get that mood. you'll
same.
you'll
The
earn
same
that
way.
you'll own it, and you'll be like, why am I in such a bad mood? I was in a great mood before, and you have to figure out what feelings are actually yours and what are not, and you have
I
to learn
was,
how to get rid of the feelings that you don't own.
I was really lucky because after he left, I went in the store, and there was this little elderly lady standing in front of me, and she was putting off just these awesome, loving vibes,
Hmm.
and it calmed me from the experience I just had. So it kind of made things all better again.
Which probably explains why you find spots in nature that calm you down too. As being an
Yeah,
empath, you'd be like that too.
yeah. Me and my friend William talked about that.
Hmm.
But that's the kind of stuff that goes on, and I know it's not witchcraft, and it's not, uh,
No,
it's nothing to do with all that. I don't know where it comes from.
comes
So,
from within
You
you.
don't have to be a witch to be an empath. Yeah, you can read people's feelings and stuff without having any religious beliefs whatsoever of any kind. Just it's being in tune with everything around you.
whether
So
you want to
and
or
it's
not.
over in tune. It's basically in tune with a kick.
Yeah, whether you want to or not.
Exactly. Yeah, Walmart is hell for me.
Oh
When I
God,
go to
Walmart.
Walmart, I take
Go,
an amethyst with me and I hold on to
Hello?
my amethyst and I'm happy.
go into
Hi, how you
Walmart and
doing?
be happy as I don't know what, and
Good.
go in there, and 10 minutes later you're like, "Argh."
Oh yes, yes. You get road rage just
Can you
from
come
pushing the
down?
cart.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Trust me.
I'll be up as late as you want to come.
And then of course, when you're walking down the aisle, and the way ours is set up, like the
No, could
grocery
you come after
aisle
work tonight?
side, they got like these freezers down through here, and then you got your other aisles going this
Okay.
way,
Do you know what time it
Yep.
is?
and you're walking down through there, and you turn into an aisle, and the first thing you
You got
see
it. I'll be here.
a woman with
No, that's perfect.
200-300 pound breasts laying in the buggy.
All right. Bye.
Oh, that damages you for life. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yes, yes, yes. It's those things where you wish you could go home and bleach your
Yeah.
eyeballs. Yes.
A lot of buggies have the part that you fold out that makes the little tray up there.
Yes.
They were full of boob. I just turned around and I went back the other way, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, that would hurt.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, yes. The wonderful world of Walmart where you can wear your pajamas and shop at the same
Yeah,
time.
or the next one you walk into and their pants are down like to their knees, you see the crack of their,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Oh yes.
Walmart is a special place.
Yes.
Special place.
I think they should put in a bar with an observation deck. It would just be great. It would be wonderful. That would be the latest hot spot to go.
Actually, I know
Everybody
a
would be
person that
drinking
said
at
they go to
Walmart. You get your
Walmart
hair done, your nails done, your hearing, your sight. Get your tires rotated while you're there. Pick up your food and whatever else you need, and sit at the bar and people watch. I mean, it'd be the ultimate place.
I actually know a person that said they park in the front of the Walmart parking lot up close to the front and take pictures of people.
You see
This
them
is
on
what's
Facebook
going
all
on
the time.
the
Oh yeah.
You guys are funny. Well, for everyone that's just joining us, this is Beyond the Grave Radio with Haunted Salem. We're here. I am your host, Christina Corsetti. We have Roger Bell, and we have Ravenwings. We are discussing witchcraft
And Walmart.
and Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart. Don't forget Walmart.
All right. Well, let's see. We have a couple more witches before we go on to other things. The Green Witch. I guess that's a practitioner of witchcraft which focuses in on the use of natural items and places.
Hmm.
We have a hedge witch. Now, the hedgecraft is a path that is somewhat shamanic.
Shamatic. Yep.
We're learning words tonight.
That's okay. I butchered a bunch earlier, so I feel good now.
Well, you do have those hard shows.
Yeah,
You
you
do.
tried the herb shows will kill you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, here we go.
Shamanic in nature.
Shamanic in nature, as they are practitioners of earth-based spirituality. They are one to engage in spirit flight and journey into other worlds. You want to explain that one a little?
That's basically, you know how they talk about the veil being thin between the worlds, like during Beltane and Samhain, Halloween,
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That veil, your fairies and stuff like that, your gnomes, your trolls, dragons, spirits, if you believe in the spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. That's what they mean by traveling by spirit flight into outer worlds and stuff like that. It's that going through the veil type of thing.
Nice.
That's what they mean by that.
So the opposite of them coming through the veil over here, we're going through the veil to them.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
No,
Yes. Sorry. Yes. I hear it in my head. It just doesn't come out of my mouth every time.
Do I need to explain better? Okay. You were talking about the veil being thin at certain times, and
Mm-hmm.
and the outer travel. Okay, that's when they say we have more spirit activity going on here because the veil is thin and they're coming across. So, are you talking about outer travel as us going through the veil to where they are?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Instead of them coming into us, we're going to them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, and one of the last ones I have down is Wild Witch. They are healers. You're a Wild Witch, Roger? They use things on Earth to do their healing, including crystals, herbs, oils, and potions. They do not worship any deities, but worship the Earth and the Moon. Wild Witches are not Wiccan. In fact, Wild Witchery is much older than Wicca.
Yeah, I would classify under the Wild Witch with being an Earth Witch. It's kind of like the same thing. We do healing, but that's not all we do. But we do deal with the earth and crystals and herbs and oils and potions.
Okay.
Like it says, you don't worship any deities. You worship the earth and the moon and stuff like that. So yeah,
Nice.
that would make sense.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a little research. Doing all this witchcraft stuff. People would want to learn how. Let's talk about casting circles.
Mm-hmm.
And get into a little other things around the witchcraft. So whenever performing a spell, it is safest done in the space of a magic circle. Casting a magic circle is different process for everybody. It is best done in a space where you are comfortable. Quiet music can be on if that makes you comfortable. So a magic circle has a north, a south, an east, and a west point. North being earth, east being air, south being fire, and west being water. Now, do you do a lot of casting circles? I know a lot of spells that they want you to cast circles.
Yeah, I haven't casted a circle in probably 25, 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't done
haven't.
it. I haven't done it myself either, and I wanted to kind
Yeah.
of learn on how to do it, but basically,
Casting a circle is different for everyone. It depends on your path and stuff on how you're going to do it. Some people will use their athame or their athame, their knife, their ritual knife. Some people will use a staff. Some people will use salt. Some people will use dirt. It all depends on what path you're following. I never I don't find it necessary because a lot of my work gets done in the kitchen. And I just make sure that my space is sacred. It's kind of hard to cast a circle in a kitchen to begin with. But as a kitchen witch, you tend to keep everything clean and neat. And I'm one of those people that even when I'm just cooking and not, cooking, I clean as I go type of thing. You always want to keep a neat, clean space, and you keep it cleaned and cleansed of negativity and stuff like that. And that's the way my whole home is. My
just
home
like
is my circle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
my home for me is my circle. If there's negativity, it stays on the outside of my door. If you're going to be negative, you got to get out because my home is my sanctuary. It's my safe spot and everything, and it's sacred to me.
Because
and
that's
being
what
an
you
earth
follow.
witch.
I
Yeah.
get you. So it depends
So
on
if there's I can go out into the woods and just you can put a protection around you, and you can visualize it. You don't have to have tools either. A lot of witches will say, well, if you don't have an athame and you don't have a bowl line and you don't have your pentagram and you don't have this and you don't have that, you can't be a witch. Bull crap. Your finger is a great wand. You can direct energy with your finger. It's all witchcraft, and everything to do with it is all about intent.
It is
It's
about
it's
intent.
yeah, it's what you, and if you so badly need an altar, sit down on the ground and visualize your altar in front of you. It doesn't have to physically be there. You can visualize what you need and still work your intent. So yeah, I've not been one to cast a circle in many, many, many years. So
Okay.
I think I
That is
casted a circle
why
way back when I first started, but that was about it.
that is why when a large amount of people pray for somebody and something good happens, it's the intent.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not that it has anything to do with the Bible or any of that other stuff. It's all the intent going out
Exactly.
to one
Exactly. Well, I
person.
mean, witches, they call it spells, but basically what it is the same concept as what a Catholic would, you do as a prayer, or a Christian would do as a prayer. It's the same concept. It's just called a spell.
Yeah, because I do a lot of spell work, and they want you to cast circles, close circles, meditate. You know what I
I
mean? And
can't meditate. I absolutely cannot. I will be the first to admit I cannot meditate. I can't shut my brain off. I wish there was a switch. The problem with meditation is you have a 3-year-old. Your
yeah,
brain is that 3-year-old. And if it's active, it's an active 3-year-old. You have to train it on how to, go into timeout and stuff. And I know as a 3-year-old, to put me in a chair for timeout, you weren't going to keep me there. Well, my brain is the same way. So for me to get my brain to calm down and just shut up for 5 minutes, it doesn't happen. So I've been trying to find a way to learn to meditate.
I have been too. I
I
have been
can't
too.
find one that works for me. I mean, some people meditate with candles, some people meditate with crystal. I
So there's no set anything.
no.
It just depends on everything. You can use your own words. I mean, you
Yes.
could.
Words. Well,
And,
spelling, if you
yeah.
think about it, if you're casting a spell, spelling, it's words, is basically what it is.
I
So,
double dance.
it's easier to think of it that way. That's why people will tell you, be careful what you say, because your words can hurt someone. It's the same with spelling. When you're casting a spell or whatever, you have to be careful what you wish for. If you're going to write your own spell, which is easy enough to do, you have to make sure your intent is there and don't leave it wide open. Because
Gotcha.
if you leave it wide open for the universe to take it, then it's going to take it and run with it. You have to make sure that you're very specific on what you intend to do.
Now, when people write spells, right, and I have learned how to write your own spell and what you need to do, but
Hmm.
when you do it, don't you have to follow it directly as what it says, or are you allowed to change it and it would
You all,
still be okay?
if you find a spell and you want to work with it, I always tell people change it up, make it your own, because
So
you
it would
want it to
still
work
work.
for
It
you.
would
Yeah.
still work even if you didn't follow it exactly.
Hmm. It's just like if it's calling for a certain herb and you don't have that herb. Rosemary is one of the greatest herbs in the world. You can substitute it for any other herb. So if you need lavender and you don't have it, but you have rosemary, throw rosemary in the spell. It's not so much with what you work with as it is with your actual intent. Magic is all about intent.
See, we
You
are
can do
learning tonight.
magic without anything.
Okay.
You can do magic without anything. You don't need anything to do magic.
I
Magic is all around you all the time.
Okay.
That's the intent coming out of your head. You don't have to have anything to do that. It just does.
Exactly. You don't need all the extra added, tools and bric-a-brac.
If you get angry at somebody and you have these really angry thoughts towards them in your head, you're putting out that intent.
Exactly.
You
We're
know,
definitely learning tonight. No, this is great, you know what I mean? Because I always wondered that,
Yep.
and I didn't want to not follow it exactly, and I want to follow it exactly because I want to make sure that it's going to work, but I didn't
now,
know that you could change it
Oh
around because
yeah.
I
You want
thought
to
when you make a spell,
change it
right?
up and make it your
Go
own.
ahead.
You know what I mean? That's the way it should be. You want to change it up and make it your own.
if you and this is just my opinion, and I'm sure Ravenwings will tell me if I'm right here, but if you let's just say you were angry at somebody, they harmed you, they hurt you, they did something to you, and you wanted to get even, and you're thinking these thoughts in your head, right?
Hmm.
What you want to do to this person? Now, if you lit a candle and you're concentrating and you're really concentrating on your thought, that's only going to make that intent that much stronger than it would
Oh,
be just coming
absolutely.
out of your head. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're focusing it. Now you're
Yes.
taking that intent and you're adding the focus to it, which is going to make your intent grow.
Intensify what you're doing, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
But
see,
I'm a
I'm
little
not
confused
but
now. I'm
common
a little
sense
confused.
stuff.
I'm confused because what's the point of making a spell if I'm just going to change it to make it my own?
Because you make it part of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find tons of spells out there, and you're never ever going to find. You'll find a spell for prosperity. Okay, here's a spell for money. Type that into the internet, and you're going to come up with at least 20,000 spells, 20,000 different spells. Basically, what you need to do is go, okay, I need money, and I need money now. So I'm going to write a spell stating that this is why I need money now. You know what I mean? You're going to
Okay.
put in what you intend to do for yourself to help you earn that money now as well. Because you can't just say, I want money now. I want the universe to bring me a bag of 20s. Because the universe is going to laugh at you and go, well, you know, you could work for it. You know,
Right.
it's not all about me, 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 me. And in the Wiccan path, following the read and stuff, they're very iffy about that because you're asking for money for yourself, and they think that magic should not be done to help yourself. It shouldn't be done for self privileges and stuff.
Right.
All magic,
It's done for people.
all magic in any way, shape, or form is done for yourself. It doesn't matter if you're helping to heal someone else, it still benefits you. So in that respect, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's still, in a way, benefiting you. All magic does that. So that's kind of an iffy ground with Wiccans especially,
Well,
if you're going to do self-help type of
as
spells.
you said, it's going to benefit you in some way.
Yes.
But you're not wanting to put out there that you intend for that benefit just to be solely for you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, like if you're looking for money, you want to find a way to, especially with the Wiccan read and stuff, you would want to make sure that it's going to benefit not just you, but your family, your surroundings, your whatever. You have to, you know, your dog.
community or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's not just solely about you. Now, me personally,
That's
I
very
have
interesting.
no problem doing a solely for me spell. I'm still working on my
Yeah, I
voodoo
don't
doll
either.
so I can give it a back rub because I need a back rub in the worst way.
I don't either. I don't have a problem doing it for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't make you selfish.
No, you're trying
Yeah.
to help
You're trying
yourself.
to help.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, I look at it like this. You know, I spend the better part of my time thinking about other people.
Hmm.
You know, and it's just me. You know, if somebody's feeling bad, I want to do something to cheer them up, or you know, if they're sick, I want to send them energy to make them better, and you know, all this kind of stuff. I don't see a problem with every great now and then if you need something for yourself that you should not be able to ask for that.
Exactly. I mean, and as long as you're taking the time to thank whatever deities you're working with, you know, even if you're not asking for something, don't always ask. That's the big thing. If you are working with a deity or a goddess or a god or whatever the case may be, you want to just, you know, get up in the morning and just say thank you. I'm awake and I'm alive and I'm upright and above ground. You know, thank you. And just thank you for being there for me when I need you. Plain and simple, you know. You don't have to do a great rite or a spell or anything to do that. Just a simple, hey, you know what? Thank you. You know, thank you for being there.
A thank you goes a long way.
Yeah.
Thank you for another great day to be alive.
Yep, exactly.
And I
I'm
posted
learning
a
a
lot
lot
up on
tonight.
Facebook that, you know, it's been another great day to be alive. You know, you got to be grateful for
Yep,
what you have.
exactly. I mean, it could be worse. It could always be worse. It's the way to look at it. It could be worse.
Well, I
I have a question, actually.
COPD, and a lot of times I wake up and it's hard to breathe, and you know, I get past that, and I'm like, you know, thank you for letting me wake up one more time. You
Yep,
know, enjoy one more day.
yep,
So, you know, there's always something to be grateful for. And
Exactly.
if you put that out, it benefits other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there's other people that deal with the same stuff. You
Yeah.
know, or maybe something worse or something different. But still, you know, you're showing them that, hey, you know, you can enjoy one more day, you know, whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a stupid question or
There
something
is
like
never a
that, but
stupid question. Never a stupid question.
Yeah, there's never a stupid question.
Trust me, there's never a stupid question. I asked a bunch tonight. There is never a stupid question.
What happened to black out of you where everything just goes wrong? Ugh. I thought I lost you.
No,
I didn't lose you.
no, you didn't
It
lose
shut
me.
off on me. I don't know why it. Oh, it crashed. I might lose you. If I lose you, I will be back. Because right
Okay.
now, I don't even know how I'm talking to you. My computer
I don't
crashed.
know. I can
But
see you and everything. Not anymore. And there she goes. And there she goes.
She'll be back. Her
Yeah.
computer's been going nuts tonight.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the fairies.
But, you know, even when bad things happen, okay, uh, or what you consider bad may not really be, but your mind is telling you, well, this is bad. My girlfriend left me, my boyfriend left me, my husband and wife divorced me, blah, 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 blah. That may just be, you know, the entities that be opening up a door for you and saying, you know, this was sick and you didn't need to be here anymore.
Yep, exactly. Well, it's like when one door closes, another one opens.
Time for you to go out and enjoy life, you know?
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of where she was going when she left there. That,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think so too.
bad stuff happening, but um, everything is not going to be perfect. I don't think it was intended to be,
No, I don't believe that either.
you know, but you make it what it is,
Hmm.
you know, and how you think, how you uh, interpret things, you know, you may interpret something wrong and you make something bad out of something otherwise that isn't.
Yeah.
And I hope she'll be back here in a minute. She's, like I said, she's been having problems with her computer tonight, big time.
I went through that for a while. That's why I have a new one.
Well, mine has crashed so many times. I mean, it's lucky for me that I know how to reinstall all that stuff and set them back up because, and I have lost so much stuff.
Oh yeah, ditto.
You know, I had about
Computer genius is behind me, so yeah, he's the one who does my operating systems and any apps I need or whatever. He's
about
my
300
go-to.
on my hard drives, and I lost all that. And you know,
This is why I always tell people external hard drive. Plug it
I've
in.
got one. I've got one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brain-
Hey, she made it back.
yeah.
She's back.
Brain-
All right. No, my question was. All right, my question was, if you have a black, like, if you get into this point in your life where you just have this black cloud over your head and you just have the bad luck and the worst luck, and but you're always helping people and you're trying to help people, and could that be like you something that you messed with the three law,
I'm thinking it's
and it came
more.
back at you three
It
times
can
as
be that
much?
if that's what you believe in, it can be that. But I'm one who's very big on reincarnation. I totally believe we get reincarnated and we keep coming back until we get it
I do
right.
too. Yes.
And I believe that karma, in a way, anything that you've done badly in your lifetime before is going to come back to bite you in your ass at some point.
Yes.
And it may not be in the same lifetime that you did it.
Okay.
It may hit you
No,
in another
I
lifetime.
believe in all that. I believe in all that.
Yeah. So
I'm
I
just
mean,
wondering if you played with something you shouldn't have played with, or if you messed up the threefold law there, and
yeah, I
it
think
just came
it's
back
just.
at you.
And a lot of times it's just shit luck. You're just having a bad run of luck, and it's not anybody casting a spell or hexing you, and you didn't, oh my God,
Okay,
I put wormwood in where I should have put, time.
Okay.
No, it's not like that. I think it's just we all go through that. Everybody has bad days and stuff. The best thing to do is just, go, okay, it's a bad day, it's not a bad life.
Yeah, but the black
and
cloud is more than
push.
just a bad day.
Oh yeah, you just got to keep pushing and pushing. Oh, trust me, I've had
that black cloud.
I've had that black cloud, and eventually you just
Yeah.
you keep pushing, and you keep trying to stay positive, and eventually you'll get through that black cloud, and that's my belief, and I have to stay with that because I try to keep the most positive attitude I possibly can with all my health issues and other things that I've been through in my life. I've found that just having a negative attitude when something bad happens and just feeding on it and dwelling in it
Yep.
doesn't make it any better.
That's
So I try to pull everything positive I possibly can. If I have a bad day and it's been an entirely bad day, I try to find at least one positive thing to focus on for that day. Okay, 17 things went wrong today, but one thing went right. And that one thing will be the one thing that I focus on
and then
because
tomorrow's a new
that's
day.
what went right. And eventually you get through that black cloud. Eventually you stop having that bad luck and that black cloud because eventually if you can stay positive long enough, you're going to bring that positivity back to you.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, yeah. What's up?
Maybe there's somebody there at your house.
Oh, yes, of course. It is not a shadow. It is not a black shadow.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, she's got a Grim Reaper just walking around in her house. I sent him over to play with her for a while.
No, it was a big blue shirt standing behind her. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, no, yeah. No, I have a neighbor over.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not alone.
I am not alone.
And the dog is there somewhere too, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah, she's over here growling.
Yeah.